Hello and welcome to this edition of the Topical Discussion. I am Simon Kagwanjala. As we keep tabs on everything unfolding, the dynamics, the trends, the surprises, and certainly the projection of what the electoral season holds. I'm joined this morning by Honorable Matthias Mpuga to share his outlook as President of the Democratic Front. Honorable, what a pleasure hosting you.
Humbled to be here.
How regrettable is it that the Democratic Front has now become a spectator to the presidential campaigns, a party worth the name?
Well, that's your view of things. We are not spectators. Definitely our homework will have an influence over what will happen at the presidential elections. Unless your belief is that without having a presidential candidate, we are non-actors.
Definitely.
Well, influence can be direct or indirect. And in my humble view, where we have the space, where we have membership, where we have influence, we speak to the people, and I contend that our voice is being heard and respected in those spaces.
What's taking you too long to endorse presidential candidate from another political shed?
Ordinarily, how long does it take? Endorsement cannot be a ritual. Endorsement must be deliberate, must be protracted, must be discussed, must be a point of conviction. And when the National Council of the DF sat and made a resolution to say that we have not endorsed anybody, but we are observing and listening to opposition candidates. And we would, if necessity arises, we shall endorse one of them, the one that will speak to our aspirations as a party, the one that will speak to the kind of issues that inhibited our participation at the presidency. And if that chance arises, we would endorse that person.
Yeah, but it's 3 weeks down the road, and it's quite odd that 3 weeks down the road, you're yet to identify a person who aligns with the aspirations of your political party.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Are you able, in your position, to enlist key positions of each of those candidates they have articulated on the campaign trail? Are you alive to the articulation of key governance issues over the last 3 weeks? Because it's very, very important that we do not turn politics into a ritual. Politics and politicians must be serious about what they tell people. And as the DF, we do not think, and we insist to say, that if no one does articulate the views we think should be articulated, we would leave it. We are not under obligation. We are not obligated to endorse anyone. It's our space, and when we think it's right to do so, we'll do it. It's not a crime for us to endorse no one.
Okay, it's 3 weeks down the road. How do you gauge the momentum, the messaging, and the pulse of the nation?
Unfortunately, Simon, I'll disappoint you that I read, I follow media, electronic and written, print. I even follow candidates across the trail. I am failing to pick the real gist of what is driving the various agenda of the different opposition candidates. And that puts us in a bit of a problem. And that speaks to the kind of concerns we had hitherto, these nominations, on the side of the opposition. That the opposition is going to the polls without a clear message, without a unifying message, without clarity of intention, without a rallying message to the people that want to see a different face in State House. And therefore, you wait and see and say, okay, let's wait and hear them on the trail. And on the trail, the little I have heard, trading of accusations, incriminating, insulting, all sorts of things. Probably.
Maybe you're selective in your hearing.
No, probably to the credit, I'm speaking, to the credit of a few candidates, like probably Geno Muntu. The CP candidate says something that is incoherent, and you could see he needs a lot of time for him to have his message across. My brother Chagulanyi speaks beleaguered and unable to coherently put across the issues that he wants the country to hear from him. And you're like, so then how do we consolidate these scattered messages to rally the rank and file floor of the opposition? Because, truth be told, across the years, opposition to government has been growing geometrically. But the consolidation of this growth of opposition into a coherent outfit, into a united front, has become a problem. And I worry that if the key opposition candidates do not get back and look themselves into a big mirror and listen to themselves, or probably accept to be advised on what they're doing, we could leave the trail worse off than we were as the opposition.
Okay, do you imagine that President Museveni is further consolidating while, as you argue, the opposition sounds beleaguered, scattered, and incoherent?
Well,
is Museveni gaining more ground?
I don't think that Geno Museveni is gaining ground. He's actually consolidating because he knows where he has support and he knows where he doesn't have support. And it's the business of the opposition to eat into his territory. It's the business of the opposition. His business is to keep his power regardless of what others think about it. And it's our job to know where we do not have a footprint to make inroads. Our own, for example, our own selection, our own selection of candidates across the country by the different political parties speaks also a bit about our slow migration into new territory. And that threatens the expansion of the opposition to new territory, which gives the ruling party, which is a state party, an opportunity to consolidate, so to speak.